Hello everyone, Nicholas Ashbaugh here. Good to see you. Let's take a look at the energy coming through for the upcoming Mercury Retrograde. As those of you that know that joined in on the live stream earlier, I'm already getting a decent vibe for this. It feels like it's going to be manageable. And my goal in doing this 3-card spread today is to help us see what the potential block and maybe what the blessing will be as well, so that we can make the most of it, because life doesn't stop for the planets. So let's get started. All right, everyone, close your eyes. Imagine that you could take a magic wand and create a circle of light around your body. On the next natural inhale, see that you are actually breathing in that light, sweeping it around your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, creating a place that is safe and connected to both Earth and Source. In this moment now, let's call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. I'm going to be using the Wildwood deck because it just felt like a great choice. So let's see what's coming through. I'm going to start with 3 cards, and if I need to go beyond that, I will. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit so we can see this as well. In the past position, we have the King of Pentacles. In the present energy, we have the 2 of Swords reversed, and then in the future, we have the 3 of Cups reversed. Let's start with past influences. So, King of Pentacles, a little bit of a lone wolf in this particular deck. So, for many of you, you might have been operating or working a bit in a silo, without maybe the connection or the benefit of other people's assistance or support or even information. And this is a time for many of you to break out of that, whether it is to outwardly seek input, to try to find a new group or a new sort of connection to plug into. And that's message number 1. The other thing here is to avoid workaholic tendencies or perfectionist tendencies. This wolf is seeking something more, seeking connection. Let's look at the traditional card for a moment. I think that this retrograde is bringing in a bit of a paradigm shift and possibly a shift in what matters to you. So as we can see beautifully illustrated here, this is one of the more opulent cards. I talked a little bit about this in the members video earlier, so I'm happy it came through here as well. What we start to understand as we get older and go through the journey of life is that it doesn't matter so much what other people say. It doesn't matter how much you make at the end of your days on this planet, because those opinions and the material wealth, it doesn't really carry with you. What you do take with you is wisdom, experiences, love. All of these things will go from lifetime to lifetime. So what we're seeing here is this moment where maybe you're separating yourself a little bit from that focus or fixation on material, the material wealth, or again, sort of acknowledgement from others. This is also a card that likes to be very safe and predictable, and he's so grounded that the vines are growing around him. It's almost too grounded. So one thing that we want to try to do in the retrograde is to break ourselves free from things that are holding us back, weighing us down, or limiting our perspective. He needs to get off the throne and walk around and explore and experiment and experience as well. Change is good. Comfort is good too, but not at the expense of growth. And that is kind of what I'm picking up on, because we're looking at a retrograde and because it's in the karmic position or the past position. What is good about the King and the Queen of Pentacles, though, is they are the quintessential gardeners. They have a green thumb, and they can take the smallest start and make it into something amazing. So wherever you might be right here, right now, when it comes to resources or opportunities, it's the tip of an iceberg. There's much more to come. So stay open, stay positive, and put the focus on what makes you feel like you're making an impact, what brings fulfillment, and perhaps a little bit less on the material aspects. Let's move on to what is coming through right here and right now. What can you do to make the most of the retrograde? In the present position, we have the 2 of Arrows or the 2 of Swords, and it's in the reverse position. So this deck takes a few liberties and actually does some really cool things with the illustration. So we see, it's so interesting, we just talked about the money. So we see money and a feather. Typically, if we were to look at like the scales of justice, it's usually the heart and the feather. So we're looking at a different sort of decision here. Material or money or an opportunity weighed against the feeling of levity, lightness, and happiness. So this is a chance for you to figure out, does this provide what I need? And there might be something that isn't. It isn't what you thought it would be. And so if I could summarize this, it kind of feels like growing up or revelation. You think you know someone, you think you know something, but when you really get into it, when you're in the throes of it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is completely different from what I thought. A reversed Two of Swords is basically taking those blindfolds off. It's a good thing. And we're setting into balance and into sort of like harmony, your life a little bit better. There may be something where you just feel like it's not right. The injustice piece may ring for some of you. I wasn't treated right. I'm not getting what I need out of this equation. Usually I would put this a little more with the Two of Pentacles, but what's happening here is an understanding that something isn't what you thought, it may not be enough, and you may need to explore new options, all of which are completely valid. Here's an interesting thing. Two of Swords also reminds you that it's not all in black and white if we just go to a more traditional version of the card. And the blindfolds it basically encourage us to trust our other senses, listen, use your third eye, feel out the heart space. How do you feel on a mind, body, and spirit level, but particularly the heart? And if something isn't clear, ask, get inquisitive, do your own research. A little bit of skepticism can save you in the long run. So don't immediately sign or agree to something. Don't settle for something. Instead, wait. Meditate, research, inquire, get to the bottom of things. Now let's take a look at where it's all leading us. Why did we have to go through some of these things? Well, we have the Three of Cups, and of course this represents joy, happiness, community, possibly even new love. It's not always easy to get into that. So for some of you, there may be this guilt associated with perhaps having some fun. There may also be a little bit of shyness or awkwardness when it comes to social engagements. Know this, others may not notice it or even pay attention to it as much as you do. So I like to refer to this as the unlikely social butterfly when the Three of Cups is reversed. Sometimes if you just put yourself in a situation, put on your best smile, try, it's more than enough. One thing we want to be aware of, if we look more at the traditional card here, is that it takes time to get to know people. And when a reverse Three of Cups appears, sometimes there's this rush to get into something more serious, more substantial. But there is something wonderful that comes out of courtship. You get to test things out. How do I feel? How do you feel? Are we compatible? It's fun. It's fun to be in that courtship phase too, so try not to rush through that. This can also represent a clique or gossip, usually when it's reversed. So that would be the shadow side of this. And because we're in retrograde, we want to be mindful of that. So you want to elevate energy when this happens. If you see someone that's left out, pull them into your group instead and say, hey, what's going on? Introduce yourselves. If you're the one that's trying to get someone's attention and they're either blocking you or laughing you or just pushing you away, so be it. You can and will find a better use of your time and energy. It's a way of the universe protecting you. It's not a fun way, but it's a very effective way. And I think most of us at some point in our life have been denied or been on the outside looking in, unless we're very, very lucky. But if you are experiencing that block, put your energy inward, put your energy on something else. This is a clear sign that that's not it. This can also be a card that's associated with excess. So everything is okay in moderation, but you want to make sure that you're not overdoing anything, particularly if there's a vice that you have in your life or anything when it comes to like drinking. But this can also be overworking, over socializing, over anything. Less is more, moderation is key, and those are the big takeaways. Let's pull one additional card, and let's see how you can really ace this retrograde. Exit it feeling like I actually resolved something. I was able to, level up, if you will. So that's what we're looking at is the level up card here. I like that we went from 1-3 to another. We only have one card upright, so in a retrograde, it's very normal to have reversals, by the way, because you're trying to see things from a different perspective. You're trying to resolve. So this Three of Pentacles has some of that energy of being rigid and sort of like planted in place that I talked about with the King of Pentacles, but it is in the reverse position. I just recently talked about Three of Pentacles with respect to inviting in different ideas, different insights. It's a great card for learning, but there may be something limited in the approach. So think wider, go beyond it. By the way, I just thought of something when we were talking about some of the other stuff. The Two of Swords is a reminder that believing is seeing. When we can see it in our insight, in our third eye, we can often identify it then in the environment. And so this is reminding you to be introspective, to kind of think outside of the box and know that there are some times where what you've learned in school or how it's been done before isn't going to work now. And so we're flipping the script with this Three of Pentacles, because the traditional Three of Pentacles would be by the book. It's very much a card of studying, learning, and mastering. But you may be in a phase in your life where this hasn't been done before. You're in uncharted territory. So use what you can with what's available out there, but also know that you might be writing your own chapter. Record it, by the way. Maybe there's something with what you're going through, like write it down, where you might be able to impart wisdom and insight and inspiration on to others, because they are going through something that, it's like they're looking for the map. You could be the cartographer in this situation. So this also tells me that whatever you're going through, you're very close to graduating. You're very close to making it through. But thinking outside of the box, going beyond the obvious, and exploring a different path, I think, is very much what this retrograde is all about. I hope this resonated. It was fun. I always like to show up and help us through lunar situations, whether it's a new moon or full moon or an eclipse or retrograde. So I always try to show up for those. I also did a longer one today if you happen to be a member or if you want to try out membership. And I'll be back again for all the monthlies, the weekly videos, and the daily. So you can check out all of that on my main channel page. In the meantime, I just want to say thank you very much. Apollo's behind us. Let's say hello to him, and then we'll wrap up for today. Hey, buddy. Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below. You can also give me a follow on social media. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. For more information about me, you can also go to my website, nicholasashbaugh.com. And that, my friends, is everything for today. Wishing you all the best. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.